Hello and welcome back to another Rocket League replay analysis. In today's video, we will be discussing the critical mistakes that you need to eliminate from your game if you want to take the step from Platinum up to Diamond. And even if you do find yourself in those higher ranks, a lot of these mistakes may even be bad habits that you've maintained from your early days of Rocket League. Of course, before we do jump in, if you guys are interested in having one of your own replays analyzed, make sure you check out my Discord, which is linked down in the description, as I do offer free coaching through there. This is fine, grab the boost. Okay, here's where we're going to talk about recognizing space and not panicking. So, you flip forward, all well and good. You recognize the space over here to the side. This is where it's really important to understand where everyone went off of kickoff. So if you look down to your opponents, you can see that one player is going to that back right boost. You have the player going for kickoff, who's now on 0. And at the last second, if you take a look at that cheating player, he is going left. His left, you're right. So you're going to have a ton of space with this ball because he has abandoned this bounce and has basically said, hey, you can have that ball for free. But you really don't know that because you probably weren't looking over here at the time. You're probably just looking here. So now you don't really know if you're going to have a player challenging or not. But one thing you can do to fix that is you clearly know you're going to take space here. You clearly, at this point, know that no one's currently challenging you, which is good. Once this ball bounces off the wall right around here, I would turn ball cam off because that will give you vision of who is possibly challenging. And then you can use the circle on the ground to catch the ball on top of your car without flipping into it. Just let it land on your car. Go for a dribble towards the net and then actually put pressure on your opponents. When you make touches like this that are kind of out of panic, where you're just like flipping at it and popping the ball in a random direction, you're not really doing anything because you're making a play on the ball without actually needing to. You're pretty much playing exactly into what your opponents want you to do because you're flopping the ball away when there's absolutely no pressure on you. So try to increase that awareness as much as possible. Look for opportunities when the ball is kind of like coming across your body where you can't really see who might be challenging, to be comfortable taking that ball cam off so you can see what's coming at you, so you know when you do or do not need to make a play on the ball. Right here, don't rotate this way. So you land, you're out of the play. There is absolutely no reason for you to come back this way because they both clearly have you beat to this ball, and your teammate should be able to come in here. You should be looking to rotate out back around, possibly go for bump maybe on the player in net, maybe steal some boost on the other side if there's not a quick counter attack happening, and then just start to rotate back behind your team. Let your teammates come in here and field this ball for you. Do not try to force yourself back into the play. It tends to put you in awkward spots where you just don't need to be. It's fine, good clear. Be careful of these overly aggressive dives. This is something that's very common even at the higher ranks. So you got around 2. That's very good. You've actually, gotten around this ball. You might have had an opportunity for control where you could have kept the ball closer. Maybe just pop the ball off the wall directly above where this guy is. And then followed it up once it came off the wall because you would have had space because it also would have taken this guy out of the play. But what you did isn't horrible because you do get it past 2. But you do hit it pretty hard. So catching up to this is going to be a bit awkward. At the point that you land, your eyes should no longer be here. They should be looking here. Because this is going to tell you if you're going to have another play on this ball or not. As you see him come forward, if it becomes obvious that he is going to beat you to this ball, I want you to become accustomed to not jumping and flipping and diving as hard as you can at plays like this. Just drive challenge, drive up, force him to make a touch with your presence, and drive away. You do not need to jump to get them to do stuff. He's still going to hit this ball in the same way, even if you don't jump. And by doing it this way, if you just stayed on the ground here, like he has you beat, sure, but he's not going to maintain possession of this ball. And at the same time, you're going to maintain a bit more boost and keep your wheels on the ground so you can stay a bit more involved in the play. Again, be careful with your flip here. This is just unnecessary. Again, a touch is just about to come out and you flip right as it's happening. So that is apparently a very big weakness for you. Just stop the flipping because you're cool to chill out in this area of the field. This is fine. Your teammate is forcing forward off of this touch. You do not need to encroach super far forward because as last man back, your main responsibility is to make sure a clear does not go booming down the field into your net. And then secondarily, your responsibility is to keep pressure on offense. So yeah, be careful about how far you're moving forward, because you're going all the way up here, and now you're facing out towards the sidewall where the ball is bouncing into the midfield. Like, your positioning here is a bit wonky. I think you can just kind of calm it down. Like, if you just remained in, like, this spot here, right around here, like, anywhere in, like, this area, this far back, this would be fine. Because, again, now you have a lot more space, and now instead of having to track the ball completely sideways, you can actually attack forward. Because you can see right now, you're turning backwards to be able to get into a spot where you can play this ball. If you had stayed a bit more patient and played a bit more of a solid third man spot, this ball would be much easier, because you would just be able to fully attack it with full speed in a straight line rather than having to do this swoop around, which again takes more time and has now given your opponent a chance to jump into this play. So be careful with that positioning. Try not to encroach too far forward, especially as third man. Give yourself that space to react to where clears go, so you can approach them with speed and keep the ball in the play rather than having to loop around and desperately try to catch back up to it. Because as you can see here, you probably should be beat to this, and you actually are, mainly because you didn't give yourself a good enough positioning as that third man. This is, again, panic. Your teammate has this ball. There's absolutely no reason for you to encroach on this. You land. You do not need to follow right behind your teammate. Your teammate's got this. You can just turn and go this way, and then, like, circle into the midfield if you want to be supportive, but let him handle whatever's about to happen. If you dive with him and you guys get beat, you're now leaving your last man back in a very awkward spot, because multiple of you have committed for a ball that is absolutely not worth more than one of you committing for. And you can clearly see that he has control, so there's no reason for you to go for this. Absolutely none. Like, just turn to your right, swing back behind him, wait to see what happens with a 50-50. Absolutely no reason for you to dive, though. Again, rotation, and punished. Okay, yep, again, this is rotation. There is no reason for you to go back into this corner. You got a second teammate right here who will have anything that goes into this corner. So there's absolutely no reason for you to be here, because life is very awkward to play a ball that's like coming over your shoulder in this spot. Instead, just go around, make sure you don't run into him, but go around and just swing around behind and be that supportive third, rather than, you know, ending up back here where now the ball is coming at you in an awkward spot. And again, from your teammate's perspective, like, it's a lot harder. Could have had a free ball, completely free ball, but you're there. So now he doesn't have a free ball. So now he's got to, like, try to 50-50 you, because you're getting a touch that's just sending it out into the midfield. And he, in fairness, does a fairly decent job of trying to get any touch he can, but it's not good enough, and that's just an unnecessary double commit from you, putting yourself in a position that your teammate will very clearly have covered. So be careful of that. Recognize where your teammates are. Recognize who is most likely to make the next play on the ball. If you see one of your teammates back in, like, the area of the net, go around them. Because anything that comes back this way, they have. If it drops into the midfield, they have it. If it drops into that corner on the far side, now you can turn and make a play. But anything other than that, you should be rotating to that supportive third position rather than trying to cut in on rotation. This is, again, just being aware of where you're playing the ball. I don't mind you going for this because you just saw your teammate go into net. This is all about identifying where the opponent is coming from, though. So you got this opponent coming out of the midfield right here. So he is playing on this side of the ball. So what that tells me is that the open space on this touch is going to be to our left. So what we want to do with this bounce is make sure we push the ball to the left up the wall, where we can, again, follow and stay on it. We don't want to force ourselves into a 50 with this guy. If they're giving us space by approaching the ball from a certain direction, we want to avoid the 50-50 if possible. If we can take the free touch around them, that's ideal. So if we were you know, coming over, just get on this side, go fast, get this touch right around now if we had used boost to get there, hit it here, up the wall it goes, control out, free play. Instead, we're inviting in the challenge, and that's just going to make things more awkward. Wow, this is a panic station here from you. No, okay. I'm gonna go over this entire sequence, because this entire thing is just panic completely. And you get scored on. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, so let's talk about this entire play. Going all the way back to this challenge. So you don't need this boost, first and foremost. You don't need a turn for this ball either. You are in an awkward spot. This ball is way over your head. Let your teammate work for you. They can come out, attack the ball with momentum. To get out of their way, you can just, like, drive up the wall here Wait till they go past you and then drive back down. Or even stay on the backboard if you think a clear might be coming there. Mainly just don't turn back to the ball like this because you're very slow. You're not going to win this challenge. But then again, the ball goes past you. Once the ball is past you, do not try to force yourself back into the play. This ball is over you. Just leave. There is no benefit to forcing yourself back into the play because you're cutting off the angle that your teammates want to play from. This guy is not staying on this ball. This is free around the corner if you just let your teammates play it. Do not force yourself back into the play. I'm going to say it over and over. Do not force yourself back into the play. If you had just left here, none of this would have happened. Your teammates would have had a free challenge, but instead they have to wait to see what you're going to do because they're worried that you're going to get some kind of weird touch and they have to play off of you. So now they're like, okay, now there's 2 players that got to get the ball around instead of just 1. So, you know, that's fine. And again, you're going to cut rotation again, and you have a teammate already out there. There is no reason for you to dive for this. Again, if we let's look at this from like a bird's eye view, if we can. Just back it out here. So you have this teammate here. Let him play second. Let him cover this angle. Again, you got one teammate challenging the ball. You're kind of in no man's land here. No reason for you to jump for this because your teammate's already there. So rather than you jumping, you can just go around. Because again, that allows this guy to come forward. You would be back behind him, and we'd have a full 3-man rotation established. So let's imagine we've done that, because this challenge is playing out the same way whether you're there or not. Because I don't even think you hit the ball. So imagine you're back here. So now, your teammate gets this touch. Okay, we're just chilling in net. Again, look, you're half flipping back into the play. There's nothing for you to do over here. When you land from this, just leave. Just go around. There's no reason for you to flip back into the corner. Do not make things more awkward in this spot. Just go around. Again, let's just imagine you had went around. Because, first of all, you could be back in net here. Totally fine. You could be, if you made the first bad decision and ended up over here in this challenge, you could be like, I don't know, over here by now, let's say. And now this ball comes off the wall. Imagine if you were here. Why, look, this is a fairly favorable ball for you to go for. That'd be fine. Or if you were in net, it's even better. Look at that. Look at that beauty. What a great touch you could have there. But instead, look at your rotation that you're getting here. So you half flip back directly into the play, creating traffic where, again, your teammate has to jump over you to get a touch on the ball. Now you're flipping over this way, and instead of having momentum to already be able to jump up to play this ball, you now have to hard drift turn into net, again killing all your momentum here. So you're now at a dead stop. Your teammates are trying desperately to cover for you, but because of the angle you took towards the net, because you couldn't jump for this, now you have a free shot coming at you. You still probably could have saved this if instead of angling your card directly out towards the ball, you stayed facing this way. If you had just faced this way and had been ready to dive across the net, you probably still could have gotten this save. But instead, you're facing out, and because you're facing forward, you don't have a lot of lateral movement once again, and this ball can get past you very easily because you can't actually cover that spot. If you were here, you had the entire net covered. But this all could have been prevented if we had better rotations, better positioning through this entire defensive sequence, and didn't constantly try to rotate back into the play. So just tell yourself, if you ever land in front of the ball, do not try to go back for it. Just go around, recover back behind your teammates, let them go forward for you, and be in that supportive position to play off whatever ensuing challenges come. Take time here. There's no reason to pop it like this. You have time. There's no one on you. There's no one challenging this ball. This is about the worst thing you can do, because all you're doing here is passing the ball back out into the midfield, into an area where the ball is getting closer to your opponents and further away from any possible teammate who can challenge. So you're basically passing the ball directly to your opponents here. If you're gonna go for this touch, it must roll up the wall. You cannot hit it flat off the wall like this. Or even better, you could have just taken more time and then looked to gain full control of this ball. Because this thing's going back to your corner. So again, just because we can make a touch quickly does not mean we have to. We can go get the corner boost here and wait to see how the ball is going to bounce and then take control from there. We do not need to dive at it like this. Good control up the wall here like this. Oh, it was so good until you panicked. It was so good until you panicked. This is fine. Like, pay attention to your opponents. I guarantee you're panicking because you're not looking at your opponents. Look at them. There is no one anywhere near you. No one's even ready to challenge. You do not need to panic at this. You could just jump down, land on the ground, catch the ball, and dribble it. You could do anything here. They're giving you all the time. You can let this ball just bounce. We're cool delaying time here. You do not need to panic at this. If you see no one on you, just don't force anything. Like, there's no one here. Just let this ball settle to a place where you feel comfortable playing it, and then actually try to make a play with it. Don't panic at things like this. Because again, you're just dropping the ball in spots where it's free for your opponents for no reason. Flipping downfield, this is fine. This is a bit over aggressive. The ball bounces up the backboard. It's tempting. It's really tempting. Here's the thing though. We're looking at the score, right? Like, we should be good. So admittedly, this is not the worst example of this that I can find. Because sure, you could very easily, you're probably going to win this game even if something goes horribly wrong off of this challenge. But as a general rule, when you're winning with low time left, do not dive at anything you don't need to dive at. Like this ball, it's on the backboard. There's really no good angle that's going to allow you to put this ball into the net, and there's also no reason you need to. So when you don't need it and you're protecting a lead, no matter how much time is left, train yourself to play smart. Don't dive at things that are going to give your opponents potential opportunities. No matter how much time is left, you don't want to be giving them chances to get back in the game. As you guys can see, we are not covering anything overly difficult. A lot of the things that we talked about in today's video are very easy changes to make to your game that will make both your life and the lives of your teammates significantly easier. At the end of the day, Rocket League is a game that is all about control and superior decision making. If you maintain control of the game and make the right decisions with that control, there is very little your opponents can do to stop you. Of course, thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate each and every one of you who made it to this point in the video, and I do hope you enjoyed it and found it helpful. If you did, make sure you click that subscribe button right down below so you make sure you don't miss any future Rocket League content. Additionally, if you'd like to be a bit more involved in the community we're building here, feel free to join my Discord, which is again linked down in the description. And as always, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. See you later, guys.